one trend I want to make note of. The population boom after the war, the folks that will turn 80 in their 80s will peak in 2028, where the second to die in a family, the estate will change hands. Right now, about 6% of estates change hands, change generations in this country. That'll peak out at 14% in 2028, and then come back down to level off at 9 or 10%. What that says for not-for-profits is they have a decade to have some really meaningful conversations with their annual donors about leaving a bequest. It's probably the biggest window of opportunity we've had. For you as financial advisors, same thing. Your clients who will have that opportunity want you to challenge them with where and how.
So planned giving is clearly becoming more important in today's world. Is there an opportunity there to get the family engaged more, or is that cause a little bit more friction in that engagement process?
Definitely opportunity to engage more. And many families that are starting to do planning are engaging their children in a way that didn't happen before. There was more information just in general about finances and where things are and how we want this to work. There's just a lot more open communication.
What we find as we work with clients is that the next generation doesn't really expect it because of the way people are living. I mean, you're not going to have a 70 or 80-year-old matriarch, patriarch giving their money to a 60-year-old child if they have children young. So is there an opportunity there to engage not just the children, but the children's children? And how would we have that process?
Sure. Skip the generation. There's generation skipping strategies in financial affairs. Why not in charitable affairs as well? There's every opportunity for grandparents and grandchildren to connect directly. Definitely see that opportunity.
What characteristics of a donor-advised fund can be used and should be used for giving?
Sure, and it is the go-to because it's the fastest growing niche of philanthropy in this country for sure. I've been in the field for a number of years, and to see now some of the donor-advised funds top the charts of largest charities in our country means that the whole way people give has changed. But circling back to donor-advised, it's the easiest way to set up an organized philanthropy for an individual, a family, or an organization. I did one the Friday before New Year's in one day. Literally in one day. If it's not complex, we have the template for the agreement to set up the fund and transfer the assets, and it's that easy to do. So, and it doesn't require any fees. It doesn't require any other professionals other than those on the donor advised team staff. And we had one couple that was struggling with their young adult children getting involved, and they were trying to motivate them. And I said, okay, well, let's try this with your donor advised fund. For Christmas, give each of them a gift certificate worth $1,000 to make a grant recommendation out of this family fund. And so we're always looking at creative ways to engage those families in that.
Let's talk a little bit about private foundations and how they can integrate with an organization like yours.
Private foundations in the beginning, as we say these conversations, if there's not a substantial amount of assets or a long-term strategy, I'm going to look at carefully with those families about, is this really the right vehicle? There's cost, time on the front end, and then on an annual basis, there's responsibilities for making sure all those filings take place. There's rules and regulations about what you can grant, when there's just so many rules. Why not remove all that in a donor-advised platform and only have to focus on the grant-making part of it? So again, it just depends on each set of circumstances, and they can change over time.